What is going on, everybody? Welcome to my latest video where, as you can probably see from the title above, that I've decided to do a roundup of my first proper year on YouTube. And don't get me wrong, I know that like looking back and being nostalgic can sometimes be a bit self-indulgent and kind of contrived, but I promise I'm not trying to do it for those reasons, because I think it's important to look back, see the things that you've been through and where you are now, and also where you could be in the future, because it kind of gives a nice reflection of where things might be going. I don't know if that makes sense, but whatever. So how about I get right into it and give you a potted history of my sort of YouTube story and a roundup of my first year on YouTube. And so let's not waste any more time and get right into the action. So everything started back when I was 17. That is the first time that I thought about, you know, really creating a YouTube channel and actually wanting to get into the whole YouTube thing. It was when YouTube was going through quite a transitional period of becoming one of the biggest sort of media and entertainment sources / user generated content places on the internet. I kind of cottoned onto this. I thought it was pretty awesome. I was watching people like Timothy De La Ghetto, some other bit, Freddie Wong I think was around there, I'm not sure, might have been a bit. I was watching like a bunch of people, old YouTubers who were making awesome stuff, some of who I still follow now, and yeah, I just thought it was awesome. At the time, I was at college, 17 years old. I had the most amount of free time in the world, and ironically, I didn't use it. If you don't know, I'm 23 now. I'm going to be 24 in June in 2014. That is kind of a hint for all of you to get me birthday presents. And so, if you do the maths, you might realise I wanted to start my YouTube channel 6 years ago. And if you look at when I started actually posting content regularly and actually putting in an effort to create a proper YouTube presence and sort of brand / space / content, whatever you want to call it, was at the end of 2012. Again, if you do the maths, that's 5 years. It took me roughly 5.5 years to, you know, stop wasting time and actually get on and do the thing that I've always wanted to do. And so why is it that I wasted all that time and then finally did it? What made me get to that point? How about I explain? So I kind of coasted through college, you know, studying here and there. I did reasonably well in my first year, didn't do very well in my second year. Again, had all this free time, I wasn't using it wisely, and I just didn't make this YouTube channel. I decided to take a gap year before I went to university, so presumably I was going to have a bunch of free time again. I worked pretty solidly in 2 different jobs for like 6 months, and then after that I had a bunch of free time because I quit and didn't really do anything. I'm kind of playing it down a bit. I had a lot of fun in that period, and I kind of sat on my money looking forward to university and just generally getting my head straight for the university kind of experience and thing. But yeah, again, it would be wrong of me if I didn't acknowledge how much free time I had and didn't put to good use. I should probably butt in here and add in a little detail that's going to be quite important later on in the story. In April or May or March, I think it was April of 2009, I can't really remember exactly. Without going too much into the details of it, very unfortunately, I suffered an injury. And this sucked. I've always been a very active person, and yeah, I had this injury and it kind of stopped me from doing a few things. And so yeah, I had to deal with that at the time. But anyway, let's forget about that for a second and get back to the point which I was coming to, which was entering university in around September, October 2009. So for anybody out there who knows anything about university in the UK, or has actually been to university in the UK themselves, one of the main things that they'll tell you or know or have experienced is that you have so much damn free time. I'm talking like in my first year I had maybe 12 hours, I don't know, a very minimal amount of hours per week at university. Some of that was in lectures, some of that was in tutorials like study sessions, but in general there was a whole host of free time. Not to mention I'm having a lot of fun meeting new people, making friends, going out, doing all these new things like joining societies, etc, etc, having like a bunch of fun. And so once again, a year passed where I didn't start my YouTube channel. However, what I did do was start going to the gym quite regularly and kind of like doing a lot of exercise and getting some good control over my injury and yeah, getting into shape. Roll on mid-2010, like September, October again, when I'm starting my second year of university. Like I said, I've always been an active person, doing sports and just, yes, doing physical things. One of those things is martial arts. As a kid, between the ages of like 8 and 12 or 13, I did taekwondo to quite a high level. And yeah, martial arts has always been a big part of my life. If you don't know, Taekwondo is kind of like kicking and punching, and at the club I went to, we kind of mixed that up with a bit of like Muay Thai and like boxing, random stuff like that, so mainly striking. And it had always been in the back of my head that I wanted to do grappling, you know, like a judo, throwing, wrestling sort of thing, to pull my martial arts training together. And so after recovering reasonably well from my injury and getting to mid-2010 where I've been going to the gym, getting stronger, I felt like I could start doing a martial art like that. And what did I find? One of the loves of my life, which still continues to this day, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you don't know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu comes from judo, and it's like throws, it's like wrestling, grappling. You can do it with one of those gis on, if you know what that is, like one of those white suits you see people wearing in martial arts flicks. And you can do it without, in like shorts and a t-shirt and stuff, which is called no-gi. And so yeah, I started doing this late 2010 and absolutely fell in love with it. This kind of became my vice for second year of university. I started training like a reasonable amount, like at first it was only 2 days a week and then 3 days a week. Was really enjoying it, and so my second year of university kind of just passed by. I was training, I was going out with my friends, doing my essays, doing pretty well in class and all of that. And yeah, again, it was an awesome year, but an awesome year without starting my YouTube channel. I sound like such a procrastinator. Anyway, second year went well, and then next thing you know, I'm in third year, and it is mid-2011. By this point, I had competed a couple times and want to start taking my training a lot more serious. And so if you know anything about athletic performance and the intricacies of training, if you want to perform at a higher level, you need to train at a higher level. And what happens when you're training at a higher level? You put your body under a lot more stress and, you know, open your body up to higher risks of injury. But let's forget that for a second. So I go through third year of university. It's a pretty quiet year because most of my friends who were in the year above me had left, aside from a couple, but I didn't get to see them much because we weren't in university much. Because going back to what I said before about free time, in my third year of university, I had 6 hours a week. 3 hours of lectures, 3 hours of tutorials. That is the definition of too much free time. And so what did I do with that free time? Because I wanted to get more and more involved in my jiu-jitsu, I started training more, where I was doing it maybe 4 or 5 times a week. And this is getting to the point now where I'm training these like 4 or 5 times a week on top of 3 gym sessions, and, you know, putting my body under a lot of duress. Unless you have an extremely important reason to do so, this isn't something that you want to do if you have an injury that you haven't completely healed from. From training more and more and training more intensely, my injury started to deteriorate slightly. But being the type of person I am who kind of pushes themselves both mentally and physically, it kind of like, you know, I just pushed it to the back of my head. I was just like, it's fine, don't worry about it. Anyway, roll on to mid-2012. I graduate from university with a 2-1 from like a good institution. I'm doing pretty well, but I can't find a job and it's pretty difficult at the time to do so. What does that mean? Even more free time. And what does that mean? Even more jiu-jitsu. And that unfortunately meant an increased risk of injury, and in October 2012 my injury had a really big relapse. I was in a hell of a lot of pain, and, you know, I had to take a break from jiu-jitsu to really sort out this injury that I'd gotten. Just a quick side note, bringing it back to the present, the rehab's going really well. I should be back doing jiu-jitsu this year, not in the same mindset that I was doing before. So yeah, don't worry about that. I should be back on the mats this year, doing the thing that I love and enjoying training again safely and without injuring myself. So yeah, physically I was in pain. I couldn't get a job for whatever reason. The economic climate sucked. It still sucks. And now I have all of this free time and nothing to fill it with. I think you guys know what's coming next. And so it suddenly hit me. I'm not sure why or when it happened, but it did, and I realised I could do the thing that I've always wanted to do: start a YouTube channel. My friends and my family had been encouraging me to do it since I was 17, and, you know, they encouraged me at the time, at the end of 2012, to just go ahead, do it, and just see what happens. The problem was I had no ideas, I didn't know what to do. So I just forced myself to come up with something, and on Facebook I'm known for posting links and just all sorts of random stuff for people to enjoy, and I was like, why don't I just translate that onto YouTube, and some interesting stuff was born. And things just kind of, you know, went from there. I'd always wanted to do gaming stuff, you know, obviously I was still watching YouTube in 2009 with the birth, and, well, not the birth, but the huge growth that Machinima saw, and all those content creators like CNanners, Hutch, and, you know, the other people that are just not in my head at the moment. And I was like, why can't I do that? I want to do gaming stuff, I've always wanted to do it, let's get a capture card. And so I bought an old HD PVR1 off my friend who had quit YouTube at the time, and so I could start making gaming content. For the record, he's come back to YouTube and he's actually doing pretty damn awesome. His channel is in my friend's bar, or whatever you call it, on my channel, and it's Psycho Clan HD. His name's Wiz, check him out. And so, coming back to the story, this is mainly when I was playing Black Ops 2, and I started making Black Ops 2 content, just kind of like semi-pub stomping videos, humorous commentaries, that sort of thing. It was received pretty well online and by my friends on Facebook and stuff. I had help from some of my friends, like my friend Alex, my friend Matthew, awesome guys. Go check out their channel, it's a Rex, that's in my friend's bar thing as well, so yeah, they're doing awesome, and I couldn't thank those guys enough. And so then I decided to kind of like make some more creative gaming content. I think I made a Dark Souls video, mould what I was doing into something more general, getting away from just some interesting stuff and just Black Ops 2. And so over time my content's getting a lot better, and then out of nowhere I discover the competitive Call of Duty community. I have a background in competitive Counter-Strike Source, and so it was kind of natural for me, after getting pretty good at playing pubs in Black Ops 2, to then want to jump into competitive. Did that, loved it, found out about Gfinity coming to London, no audience members allowed. I'm a London boy, I know if there are going to be any pictures tweeted out of the venue, and there's like any landmarks or views, etc. I'm going to know where the place is like that. Very luckily, a lot of the players tweeted out pictures of like the view from where they were in the building. You could see a bunch of places that I could recognise. I knew where it was literally as soon as I saw the picture. I called up my friend who was working at the time, Dom. Again, shout out to another friend who has helped me in a huge amount of ways. And I was like, dude, you know, if I meet some of these players, film them, I don't know, I can do interviews, something like that. It could be really good, could be a good way to meet people, the people I enjoy watching, and get some good content for my channel. He was like, sure, let's try it. Went down, waited outside the venue, eventually met some people, went really well, was invited in the next day. It's probably worth me mentioning that prior to Gfinity, I just did a mashup video of the Complexity and Impact final, the Complexity one. And so when I met Complexity at Gfinity 1, they had some idea of who I was, and it was really cool to meet them. It was funny to meet them for the first time. And things have kind of just escalated from there. Like, don't get me wrong, I know my channel is absolutely tiny, and it's just a speck in the huge whatever of YouTube. However, things have progressively got, you know, pretty good from there. I started doing some more like official work with Microsoft through my friend Alex, Rex. Again, I mentioned him before. That was really cool, and I still continue doing that to this day. Make sure you will go check out the Upload Studio feature on your Xbox Ones, which is on every console that allows you to kind of have your own game DVR in your console, cut clips, edit them. It's pretty cool. After Gfinity 1, I was relatively friendly with the organisers, and you know, now I'm pretty friendly with the guys. And at that point, I asked them, can I come down and do my videos on a more professional level? I've got equipment, my friend is doing the camera work, Dom. And they were like, sure, they gave me VIP and stuff, and I did all of that, and it went really well. And so yeah, Gfinity 2 went really well. I just started making more content for my channel, and just doing this, that, and just mixing everything up, trying to do more skits, and just building my YouTube content and getting better at what I'm doing. And then, very luckily, a friend of mine who I'd made contact with in the first Gfinity, spoke to again at the second one, and then kept in touch online since, got in touch with me and said, I've got an opportunity for you. I hope he doesn't mind me shouting him out, but it's because I want to say like a massive thank you to him, like I have to my other guys. Like, the guy put himself out there for me and invested in me when no one else had done yet, and yeah, he's pretty much one of the only people who has, and that's Curtis, aka APOC. You can find him on Twitter, Curtis APOC. And so what was this opportunity that Curtis had come up with? Going to MLG Columbus to help Epsilon with some of their content. Long story short, I go to Columbus, have an awesome time, meet all these people, make this video for Epsilon, which isn't out yet, but it should be out soon. It's just like going through some final stages. And that kind of sums up where I am now. Since then, I've just been trying to make more and more content that I find fun and that I hope that all of you find interesting, making the best YouTube content I can. And yeah, so I guess that's about it of my first year doing YouTube properly. It's quite a bit, it's pretty cool, I'm quite happy with it. I hope that wasn't too waffly, but I think a lot of my subscribers are interested in why I do what I do, how I got to where I am, and possibly things that could be happening in the future. So why don't I briefly touch upon them? So this year, next year, whatever you want to call it, 2014 should be a very big year for gaming. This is of course because the new generation of consoles has just dropped, and I have an Xbox One myself, and there are a bunch of titles that I can't wait to get my hands on to play and kind of like put out on my channel. Titanfall, I cannot wait for that game to come out. I played it already, it's bomb. I'm going to just destroy that game and put out some of the best content on YouTube. Destiny looks awesome, I can't wait to cover that. Tom Clancy's The Division, Watch Dogs, you name the awesome next-gen titles for the Xbox One, I'm going to have them, I'm going to play them, I'm going to create awesome content for you guys to watch. You may also see me doing some work with other people, groups, etc. Hopefully getting out to events again this year, hopefully some of the biggest ones. We just have to wait and see. I'm working hard, talking to the right people, and I'm extremely excited about that. If it happens, and it could be big. It could be like really big, like it could be the type of thing which changes my whole career path into doing something which I love and I'm passionate about. And you know, like I said before, I'm the type of person who mentally and physically challenges themselves. If there's a goal to reach, I'm going to do it, and that's the goal, and I'm going to do it. So how about a little summary? 2014 should be an absolutely huge year for me and my channel, and one of the most important things about that is you guys. I honestly would not be motivated to do what I'm doing now if I wasn't getting some sort of recognition and, you know, attention from the people that are watching my videos, enjoying them and supporting them. That's the blunt truth. I wouldn't be doing this stuff if, you know, nobody watched it. That wouldn't really appeal to me. I want to make things that people enjoy, and I want like a wealth of people to enjoy them. If nobody else other than myself enjoyed the content that I was making, it would be kind of pointless and I'd go do something else. So I guess what I want to finish this on is a huge thank you to all my genuine supporters, you know, the 1,200 and so of you guys who are like, subscribe to me, that like what I'm doing and support and want to see it through and see me do well, because that is so awesome. And man, if I could meet you guys in real life, shake your hand, that would be cool. Like I crazy appreciate it. Like I can't stress that enough. It means a lot, man. I crazy appreciate it. And so yeah, just don't forget that you guys watching this and enjoying and watching my content, you're essentially the most important part of all of this. And so thank you so much to everybody watching, and all my supporters, all my followers, all my friends who've helped me out, my mum, my brother encouraging me, my friends in real life encouraging me and continuing to give me support in doing what I love and doing this stuff. And yeah, 2014 is going to be a big year, and you are all a part of that. I think a lot of you know how this last bit goes. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. Sharing always helps. Thanks for watching, everybody. I've been Parla, aka Mantrus. Peace!